thrilled to be with you and see your shining lights. Sing with me as we hear our song again.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
That song makes me so happy. Knowing Article number 6 from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, let me know that I have a right to be accepted everywhere as a person before the law. That makes me happy too. Let's say it all together. You have a right to be recognized everywhere as a person before the law. Do you remember these cute faces? If they were lost, what information do we need to find those children?
Names, gender, parents' names, where they were born.
If someone wanted to find you, would they need the same information? No one else in the world can give all this information in the same way that you can. You are quite unique, one of a kind. Where would someone find this information about you? Did you know that in most countries, when a baby is born, this information is written down and kept in a government office? The baby's name and the parents' names and all the things we have just talked about are written down. When you were born, your parents probably filled out a document that looks much like this. Ara, will you please read number 1 to 6 of the sample birth registration?
Sure. Child's name, time of birth, sex, date of birth, where the child was born, state, district, province, or country.
Very good. Ralph, please read number 7 to 10 from the birth registration.
Mother's current legal name, date of birth, mother's name prior to first marriage, and mother's birthplace.
That's great. Which one of you would like to read 11, 12, and 13? Oh yes, Ara.
Father's name, date of birth, father's birthplace.
That's wonderful. After all of this information is recorded, the birth registration is then kept in a government office. We can get this form from a government office. We might need it when we get married or when we want to vote. We might need it to get a driver's license or even to go to school. When you go home today, ask if there is a birth registration form on the file somewhere for you. I want to end with a story about Horton, a kind-hearted elephant living in the jungle. Have you ever heard of him?
No, not yet.
Don't worry, I'll share the story with you. One day, Horton hears a tiny voice calling out to him from a tiny speck of dust. It turns out that a whole village of little people called Who's living on that speck of dust. None of the other animals can hear the voice, so they make fun of Horton and try to destroy the speck of dust. But Horton protects the little people until they finally manage to make a big enough noise with the help of the littlest, who is Wingville. And that's when all the other animals in the jungle can hear them. Ralph, would you please read what Horton says to the little people?
Sure. Don't give up. I believe in you all. A person's a person, no matter how small.
That's great. It's important to understand that we all have the right to be accepted as a person, whether we are big or small. I want you to share that thought with others. A person's a person, no matter how small. Bye for now!